really looking forward to wearing those. Like they're so soft. And I was like, man, in 2020, I have these on all the time. I was like, that's terrible. I was like, that's really terrible that I'm missing being in sweatpants. I'm like, I was in sweatpants way too much in 2020. Because now I'm like, man, I actually have to go to the dry cleaners this week.
Right? Yeah. Oh, no.
It's weird,
Oh man, that's awesome. Well, Andrew, we got to wrap this up. We appreciate you coming on.
Time went by so fast.
I know it does.
I really enjoyed it.
It
Wow.
does.
Yeah, thanks,
we'll get together. I know you two need to get together and talk. We can get together, smoke some cigars, have some whiskey. It's all good. So thank you, my friend.
Today at 5.
Today at 5. We're
Andrew,
at
thank you.
Stogies, Westheimer.
Oh, in the room. Okay, well, Maurice, our next guest, we're gonna go drink afterwards, so we may have to reach out to you. So, all right, brother, you have a good one. Thank you very much.
Thank you
See you
guys.
guys soon.
Appreciate you guys.
Done.
Bienvenidos una vez más a Visión Empresarial, como todos los jueves, transmitiendo desde Houston, Texas, para todo el estado de Texas, México y algunos países en Centro y Suramérica. Quien les habla, Eduardo Hurtado, y quien siempre me acompaña, la espectacular Gilcy Sánchez. ¿Cómo estás, Gilcy? Bienvenida.
Muchas gracias, Eduardo. Un placer estar aquí. La presentación esa estuvo corta, no me gustó. Después lo volvemos a hacer, ok. Les doy la más cordial bienvenida. Yo súper contenta una vez más de estar en Visión Empresarial con excelentes invitados. Y les recuerdo la plataforma donde nos pueden ver en el canal 2110 aquí en Houston, también en el canal 2710 en el área de Port Arthur y Beaumont. También nos puede ver por la página web de Now Media, www.nowmedia.tv, y ahí va a estar no solamente los programas de Visión Empresarial, sino los otros que también producen Now Media. Por mis redes sociales, Beta World, y por las redes sociales del señor Eduardo Hurtado, que se llama
www.security.com.
Yo decir, se pasó de W.
Sí, ¿verdad? Como que muchas W ahí. Eso es para que lo doble vean.
Oh.
Mira, y tenemos un invitado súper especial, Juan Pablo Davis, de Mindset. No. Es lo que él hace, pero,
sí, pero te
Two
cuento,
Factor.
Two Factor es la compañía que él, de la que él es fundador. Pero a mí me parece fascinante Juan Pablo porque él tiene cara de bebé. Él no está, él es un señor, es un hombre, ¿verdad? Como está, o sea, un señor ya grande. Pero él es...
Hey, this is your business guide, Michael Ridge, and we're here at Teach Your Business to Fish. My first mate. Is that what we're going to call you now, the first mate?
Yeah, or your first podner or something.
Podner? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
Andy Erickson, how you doing, sir?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Man, it's been great. It's been a long day.
It has.
How about you? You had a good day?
I've had a good day. I've had a very nice lunch from, a good taco place right around the corner. And, just enjoying the day being here with you, really, recording some good content today.
That's awesome. Man, we had a guy coming on, Andrew DeLuna, andrewdeluna.com. He's a fractional CFO. How does that fractional CFO come in to Teach Your Business to Fish? Now, Andy, we both either own boats or our families own boats. And I think the definition of a boat is a hole in the water you throw money into.
Break out another 1,000.
Right, break out another 1,000, and that's what it's about. And as a CFO, as a business owner, the CFO, their job is to what?
To help you save money and figure out where you're spending too much and where you can save money.
Yeah, and that's it. Where is money going to the right place at the right time to the right people to help the business grow?
Yeah, right. I mean, that's their main focus. I mean,
Yeah, and we know one of the reasons why I charter all the time is I can just go, I can fish, I can have a great time, and then I get off the boat and I don't have to worry about all the other BS.
You have no more accountabilities. A fractional CFO is kind of like going on a fishing charter. You bring them in for what you need, and then it's done.
Yeah, they're gone.
Right.
It's amazing. I wish DeLuna was here because he's late. He's gonna buy cigars after this.
Well, good. We deserve that.
Yeah, he's got a nice suite over at one of the local cigar places.
Oh,
down
okay.
the street.
Okay.
Or he's one of the private members. So.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And he's got a locker that's got good liquor in it.
Rough life.
That's why he's one of my friends, dude. It's that type. So with what's going on and looking at business owners, with you looking at them as a business broker, how many business owners come to you that actually have their financials in shape?
15% of people that are ready, willing, and able to sell right then and there. I mean, most people don't have their financials in order. And, a lot of people don't have P&Ls, surprisingly. Or, the only P&L they have is in their tax return, and it's not well laid out.
Yeah. Well, the P&L and all that stuff, that's the story of your company. That's the story of your success.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It tells a story about where you started and where you are now. And so when a buyer's doing their due diligence, they can understand the path that business took, and then they can also judge the potential or the blue sky that business is going to provide for them in the future.
Well, yeah, because as somebody that's coming to you, they're looking to buy a business, they're looking to move in and take over something new, and they don't want to buy the proverbial lemon, right?
Right. Right. You want the motors to work, you want the hull to keep water out. You want it to get you from point A to point B.
Right, and we want it to do fast, not like our trip this summer.
Hey, after 175 miles, one motor didn't die until we hit the jetties coming back in.
But we still had a couple beers left.
We did.
we had a couple beers left, so it got us to the dock.
Right.
But that's the thing we need to look at, and as business owners, as fishermen, and as the things we love. When we go out with our buddy Mike Stoddard, his boat, his Hatteras is way different than the center console that you had.
Yeah.
And it's each business is different, and they run different, and there's different things we got to look at, right?
Exactly. And they have different purposes. They're built for different purposes. They're built for a different type of client. And every single business, even if you're in the same industry, your businesses are built differently to service a very specific need within that niche market.
Right. And so often business owners don't understand what their niche is and their need. They try to service everybody. And if you on the Hatteras, the needs are different than the Contender.
Right.
That are different than the Freeman Boatworks, that are different than the Bass Boat.
Exactly.
They all get you from point A to point B.
But it depends on the amount of time, the amount of fuel that you're going to burn, and really the comfort level, right?
Yeah. And that's what it's about. It's one of the things people need to look at. They need to come fishing with us. Because you're not going on the 19th, right?
I'm not going on the 19th.
Are you looking to go to the 26th?
I hope so.
So yeah, we're gonna go out and do some marlin fishing and tuna fishing and stay up all night and have a good time. And it's great. Our buddy Brent was he was texting me before here, and we've got a bet going on who's got to buy beer after this. Whoever gets the most I got nobody viewing me, dude.
I don't think I do either, but I can't see from that far.
You got something up there.
I have somebody out there. Give me a like or a love button, please.
Yeah, I know. I've got no love right now. I think the reason I got no love is because I've been on freaking live all day.
Yeah, right.
The thing we got to look at is streaming. The next thing is streaming and what we need to do. So what do we got, Jonathan? About 2 minutes left in this introduction. 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
So DeLuna, you got 3 minutes to get here, dude. No. Well, you really got 5 because we got to play the commercials in between.
Right.
But financials, I look at it as the lifeblood of the business.
Yeah. I mean, it really tells, I mean, it's kind of like going to the doctor and getting a health checkup. You know, the financials tell the entire story. And if a business owner is not, you know, telling the truth, you know, if they're not reporting all the cash, I mean, you know, those reports or those, you know, those health checkups, they come in, you know, telling you a different story than what's really happening. And that's really difficult for somebody else to look at and say, yeah, this business is healthy.
Yeah, I know when I tried to, there's Mr. DeLuna, he's walking in, we see him. When I did a purchase a couple years ago, we got a set of financials, and then we went and do this is a year from beginning to end. We went and looked at the financials again, and they were different. The guy stopped working, and there was no revenue, and it made a big issue. So, Andrew, we ready to take it out? Guest just got here. We're going to take it out. So we're going to go back out. We're going to get Andrew DeLuna on here, and we're going to talk about, you know, being a CFO and understanding the financials of your business, and we're going to give him crap for being late.
That sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
The right tax team is key to any successful business. At America's Tax Firm, our goal is to help individuals and businesses of all sizes with accounting solutions and tax strategies that yield profitability, sustainability, and growth. At America's Tax Firm, we have a team of experienced tax consultants and advisors that can help your company optimize business strategies to minimize taxes and reduce liabilities. From preparing and filing your personal or business taxes, or choosing the right legal structure for your business, to resolving complex tax issues with the IRS. America's Tax Firm is your turnkey solution. Take a strong and decisive step and let America's Tax Firm be part of your success.
Did you know that children and adults are spending 90% of their time indoors? Whether at home or at the office, structures are now built tighter and more energy efficient, creating toxic environments.
Indoor pollution is 2 to 5 times worse than outdoors. Childhood asthma has increased 600% in the last 30 years. According to the EPA, there are over 750,000 new asthma cases every year in the United States.
Poor air quality can cause headaches, snoring, fatigue, sneezing, coughing, severe allergies, and much more. Additionally, chemical pollution from cleaning products such as bleach or Lysol and also treated building materials can severely affect your health.
Tactico is an indoor air quality company that focuses on health and wellness by using revolutionary technology to clear the air of toxic indoor pollution.
Our cutting-edge, green-certified solutions remove all odors, allergens, viruses, mold, toxic chemicals, and insects to create healthy homes and workplaces. Within minutes, our military-grade products kill 99.9999% of all toxins. Our team is highly experienced and is comprised of military veterans whose mission is to provide excellent customer service to our clients. Because your safety and your health are important to us. Call Tactico today, 832-901-9979, and let us create a healthy environment so that you and your family can live pollution-free.
Hey, welcome back to Teach Your Business to Fish. This is Michael Rager. Andrew DeLuna finally showed up. We got Andy Erickson. I told him we were going to give him a little bit of crap. You know? Yeah, so we just got to make sure you lean up towards the microphone. And there we go. So, Andrew, you're a fractional CFO.
That's correct.
All right. What made you decide to do that?
You know, I mean, it goes back to why I started doing accounting to start, right? So, I mean, I'm a CFO because I majored in accounting. I got my CPA. Originally, you know, I had thought about going into law school.
Right.
And it was really for business, though, right? That was always what I wanted to do, whether I was going to be a corporate lawyer. I wasn't going to be defending criminals or doing anything mafioso like that. But I really liked business. I really liked numbers. So when I said, no, I'm not going to do law school, I went ahead and switched my major to accounting specifically. And I was just, you know, pretty good at it. So it was easy. You know, I was really gifted with being able to do analysis in my head fairly quickly, which I think has really been a catalyst for the successes that I've had, and along with having great mentors and good energy around me. But yeah, so because I was an accountant, I started off in audit. I went into internal audit, then I went into controllership, and then I was divisional CFO. And from there, I went into mergers and acquisitions at the corporate level. I loved my years at corporate. It was awesome. I wouldn't trade those years for anything. You know, once I went into mergers and acquisitions, I had a budget, so I was able to, you know, feel like I was in operations. Because once you do accounting long enough, you're like, God, I got to get out of accounting. This is crazy. I'm good at it and I like it, but doing it all the time, obviously, it's like any passion or love, it becomes a labor of love.
Right.
And so accounting can definitely do that to you very quickly, especially with long nights, closings and whatnot. So then I got out of corporate after, you know, having enough successes that I knew there was not a whole lot of new things for me to do. And being in M&A, I really loved it, but making lots of money for the company, I was like, well, let me go out on my own. So in 2014, went out on my own, and man, I've never looked back. It's been the best decision of my life.
So what made you transition from, you know, the corporate world to, you know, really taking the risk and going out on your own?
Well, you know, that's a great question. And unfortunately, I don't have like a success answer for that. I had a client, he became my client. I had a good friend that needed a CFO.
Right.
And he was just like, look, man, why don't you, you know, come work for me? So I pretty much knew when I left corporate America that I had a job, but I working for myself, right? So it wasn't like, okay, I'm going to quit and whatever happens, happens. And it's great to do that too. But the reason I did it is because the opportunity presented itself.
Okay.
Yeah, because like when I met you, I mean, we met happen chance at you mentioned Jason Kane, a friend of ours, had a cigar event.
Yeah.
We showed up, we sat next to each other, started talking about business cigars and having a good time. And,
That's right.
You know, that's it. But you were with another company then.
Yeah, well, it was Now CFO, which was a boutique firm.
Yeah.
But basically, that was started by some guys at from UT Austin, my alma mater. So I had called them up, and they were like, "Yeah, you should do this. This is awesome." And I was like, "Well, I can bring in a client, you know." And so I did. And so then I joined them, knowing that I was bringing a client, and so I kind of paid for myself. But it was the way to get to networking without just going out as Moon Group or Andrew DeLuna, you know. So that was with a buddy, you know. So it was the same as going out on my own.
Yeah.
He immediately left Houston.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was like, "You take over Houston," and I'm like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Well, why am I doing this under Now CFO if I'm the only one in Houston? Let me just do it on my own." So that's, I mean, I don't give a lot of credit to Now CFO because I feel like I was immediately alone, and so so I was, you know, pretty much went out on my own immediately.
Well, as a business owner, you know, I want to talk a lot getting into, because the financials tell the story of a business, no matter what. But business owners are crappy at the financials. Are they not?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of them feel like it's a necessary evil, and so you don't tend to get good at things you don't like, right? And if it's not good news, then you really don't like it,
right?
And if you know something that the numbers don't tell, then you really don't like it, right? I mean, there's never been an owner, CEO, president, general manager that tells me these numbers are wrong. Right. You know, they always think the numbers are wrong because they know something that the numbers aren't telling.
Right.
Now, Was it recorded in a different period? Was it recorded in a different expense item? Did it go to the balance sheet instead of the P&L? All these things are questions that we have to dig into. But it always happens, right? Because there's a lot of hands in the cookie jar, and so sometimes you get a crumbled cookie.
Yeah, that's a lot of times we do.
Right, that's exactly right. That's exactly
No,
right.
Andy, you deal a lot with, people that are trying to sell their business. You deal with a lot of smaller businesses. Like, I know a lot of your businesses are $5 million in revenue
Or less,
below.
yeah.
I deal in the 2 to 20 million range pretty well. What are some of the common mistakes that you see these business owners make?
Well, the mistakes are really a thinking mistake, right? I mean, you can have mistakes of coding and period changes and whatnot, but it's really not knowing what the numbers really mean. So you have a whole bunch of sales, you buy a whole bunch of inventory, or you hire a whole bunch of people, and you think to yourself, man, why is my bank account not getting any higher? Well, did you look at your balance sheet? Because your cash became assets, right?
Yeah.
And so, do you have a lot of inventory? Do you have a lot of AR, right? Accounts receivable that you haven't collected? And so, not knowing how to use the different reports, balance sheet, P&L, and cash flow statement together to really tell the story of the entire business, and just looking at your P&L, that's the first mistake, is only using one report to try to see everything. Because one report doesn't give you everything.
Yeah, it's funny. I had a client this year. They let me go. They started me a year ago. They were making $150 a month. At the end of October, they were cash flowing $30,000 a month.
Nice.
And they said, well, we can't use you because we don't have enough money in the bank. But they bought a whole bunch of assets. They had a whole bunch of inventory. They had a bunch of stuff. It's like, God, it's like, dude, they go, you're too expensive.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Get serious.
Yeah.
Get serious.
Yeah.
But, when I met, you introduced us to a guy, Hurt Porter, that Andy and I had on a different show. And you're walking this young guy through a business plan.
Yeah.
How important is that to a business?
You get a lot of different answers, right? And so it is very, very important to have a plan, right? Now, are you going to write that plan and then have it on your desk and look at it every day and say, like, this is what I'm doing today? Right. Absolutely not. You're not. But whether you write it down, whether you make a video of the business plan, whatever you're doing, what it does is it creates something tangible. And when I say tangible, it's really not tangible, but if we want to get a little metaphysical, it puts it in the quantum. It puts it in the universe. Like, this is what I'm doing, and now it's solid. I've thought about it. I've videoed it. I wrote it down. And so it creates a kind of floor, a foundation of, okay, this is what I'm going to build my business on, this idea. Now, are you going to pivot? Absolutely. Are you going to change the way you do things? Absolutely. It's not going to work out exactly the way you put it on paper. But I think it's important, not for the success of the business, but for the success of the person to do it.
Well, it's. I see business plans. I see them two types, and I see one business plan A to go get money from somebody.
Yeah.
And business plan B is, how am I actually going to really run this company?
Right.
They seem so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many business owners do you guys know that take the time to look at both or think about both?
Eventually, they have to think about both.
Yeah.
Right? You mean, do they think about it before they start the business? Probably none.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because honestly, there's too many variables to think about. Right. I mean, you could probably go through a bunch of different scenarios, but I think it's just it's a little bit. I guess it discourages some people. Like, oh man, all these things I got to think about. All these things could go wrong. So you don't want to think about that, right? You're going to be positive. You're going to be. You had asked me a question, and a quote from Elon Musk came to mind where he said, hey, if an entrepreneur is asking for advice, he shouldn't be an entrepreneur, because you just go. And I was like, well, that's not good.
Sometimes, yeah.
Change.
But then I can also say, well, Elon Musk is trying to get to Mars.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, get home.
Yeah.
So.
I had people ask, what's more important, drive or education? And there's a lot of times you got a lot of people drive that they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Right.
And they're driving themselves to the wrong place.
Yeah. You get lost faster. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, not at all. So, Edie, what do you think when you start looking at a fractional CFO or a CFO that's coming into a business that's looking to be sold? What do you think is the importance of that?
I mean, I think it's important because the business owner and the team members within the business need to focus on creating revenue, right, and being profitable. And maybe not, let's not even say their job is to be profitable, but they need to focus on what's making the business money. And looking at the financials is, one, not their strength, and two, really what they shouldn't be focusing on. And having a CFO, you know, that third party that's going to look at something and help them understand the things that they really don't feel comfortable with, I think is critical.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to add to that, I think that the CFO really needs to be like the flag guy. Like, hey, I see something happening in the numbers. I want to throw up a red flag. Something's happening. You know, right now, for example, to build a house in New Braunfels is $1.70 a square foot.
Right.
Because lumber prices have gone up
Through
10
the roof.
times
Yep.
in the last 12 months.
12 months, yep.
So if you're a CFO of a construction company, hopefully you saw that 11 months ago.
Right.
And 10 months ago and 9 months ago, not like
not
now, and not like, oh, look, I had to look at my quarterly statement to know that we started making less money over the past 3 months and we need to adjust our price. Now, what you're saying, the guy who goes and buys the lumber may not be the guy who's selling the service. Right. So then the guy selling the service wouldn't know. If it's the same person, then they're like, oh, wow, this is more expensive than last time. I may need to adjust. And then they go talk to their CFO. So depending on how big your business is, what responsibilities are siloed into different divisions, you know, having that ability to raise the flag, the CFO sees it all because he's seeing the numbers, and the salesperson and the purchaser may not necessarily see it all.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, some of these bigger small businesses, right? When we get to that, you know, $2 to $20 million range, a lot of these, you know, parts of the organization, right? The different parts, they're so siloed on. They don't talk to each other, right? And so you really have 8 different divisions that are working simultaneously, that they think they're working towards the same goal, but they really never communicate. Yeah. And I think that's where a CFO can be the referee and say, hey, you know, we have an issue here. What's going wrong? Maybe you're not the one that's going to go figure out what's going wrong, but at least you're raising that flag. We need to look at something.
That's right. Yeah. That's exactly right.
So when do we look at graduating from our accountant helping us to bringing in a professional like you?
Yeah, great question, right? So the way I look at what's the difference between a CFO and a controller is that the controller would normally look back. He would do the analytics, like, hey, you know, what happened over the past month, month over month, year over year, quarter over quarter, whatever type of periodic analysis he's doing. Whereas a CFO is really looking forward. And looking forward is not just creating a budget or creating a forecast, but saying, okay, these are the ratios of cash that we use to produce this amount of money. Like, I have to spend X amount in marketing. I have to spend X amount in cost of goods or cost of services, right? And marketing today, wow, hasn't it changed so much? Like, I mean, marketing's everything now. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it touches everything. And I mean, how your supply chain works is part of marketing. How, you know, so it's like everything. And so that budget has grown because its responsibilities or the number of things that fall under marketing or what you could possibly use as marketing has grown. Right? The profession has pivoted, so it's different. So that said, you know, you really want to make sure that you have a good handle on all of those sections, and a CFO is going to be able to say, I've got a good handle on the ratios, and I'm able to now tell you in the next year, we're going to need to raise this amount of money, or we're going to need to borrow this amount of money, and here's why. Because we're growing at this rate, or we want to grow at this rate, so this is the amount of capital that we need. This is how many new employees we're going to need to hire, because it takes 4 people to build that widget, or it takes 2 people to implement this service effectively. So you know how many employees you need. You understand what the demands on your assets are going to be. The demands on your credit are going to be. And that way you can plan. Like, okay, you know what? We can't grow that fast because we only have a 5,000 square foot warehouse, and it takes, you know, 1,500 square feet to hold our product, so we can't store 6,000. We can't sell 6,000 a month unless we get another warehouse.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
Yeah.
So you got to plan.
Okay, so we're getting ready to go to break. We got 2 minutes. How do people get a hold of you if they're looking for your type of services?
Yeah. So AndrewDeluna.com. That's my website.
That's it, man.
It's easy. It's easy. Yeah. And so Moon Group Limited, which is the holding company, is the owner of Moon Consulting, where I do most of my outsourced CFO work for, business growth, for strategy, for capital structure, things of that nature. Merger and acquisition advisory services fall under Bayou Moon Capital, which is a company that I own with Rick Toussaint, and we raise money for private and public companies. We just got done with a Reg A in December of 2020. We raised $10 million, Principal Solar. It's PSWW is the ticker symbol, so we're having a lot of success with that right now. We've bought 2 companies. We have press releases out. You can go read them. And we're about to announce a 3rd company that we're going into an LOI with this coming week that we're very excited about.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, we're going to come back. Jonathan, send us out to commercial. We're going to come back. And Andrew, I think we're going to pick your brain for a little bit more
All right, let's do it.
wisdom.
Sounds like fun.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hi, this is Alberto Tudela. The Houston metro area has experienced a substantial increase of wind and hail damage, flooding, and other perils in the last 5 years. Now more than ever, it is critical and essential to ensure your company, your property, as well as your family have the right insurance coverage. Tudela Insurance Solutions offers a wide variety of insurance for home, auto, property, as well as life insurance. My goal is to find a tailored option that guarantees the right coverage at the right price, specific to your needs, present and future, so you protect what matters the most. Call me today at 713-714-4475 and allow our team at Tudela Insurance Solutions to make sure you're protected. Accidents never happen when we expect them. Now is the time to ensure you have peace of mind.
The right tax team is key to any successful business. At America's Tax Firm, our goal is to help individuals and businesses of all sizes with accounting solutions and tax strategies that yield profitability, sustainability, and growth. At America's Tax Firm, we have a team of experienced tax consultants and advisors that can help your company optimize business strategies to minimize taxes and reduce liabilities. From preparing and filing your personal or business taxes, or choosing the right legal structure for your business, to resolving complex tax issues with the IRS. America's Tax Firm is your turnkey solution. Take a strong and decisive step and let America's Tax Firm be part of your success.
We are CHN Advisors, and we operate our business under Liberty Tax Service. Our team of tax resolution experts and business consultants have extensive experience in tax planning, accounting, IRS problems resolution, credit restoration, and business structuring. We are multilingual and assist our customers in English, in Spanish, in French, in Mandarin, and in Vietnamese. At CHN Advisors, our goal is to help individuals and businesses of all sizes with accounting and tax strategies that yield profitability, sustainability, and growth. We have a team of experienced tax consultants and advisors that can help optimize your business tax strategy and reduce all kinds of tax liabilities. From preparing and filing your personal or business taxes, incorporating your company with the right company structure, to more complex tax issues, CHN Advisors is your solution. Take a strong and decisive step and let CHN Advisors be part of your success.
Hey, this is your business guide, Michael Rager. We're back with Andy Erickson and Andrew DeLuna. So we were talking a little bit in the break, Andy, and you had a really good question for Andrew. Why don't you go ahead and bring that up?
So, Andrew, I mean, so many business owners are out there and they're just operating, just from the seat of their pants. Yeah. And you want to turn a little bit this way?
Yeah, we get yelled at.
I know we're having a really intimate conversation.
Yeah, we're having a conversation. Like, it's better that way. But yeah, the camera's in a position for me.
If somebody were to ask you, when is the right time that you're right for a client to come on? Is there a time that's too early, or is there a time that it's too late?
Mike brought up Hurt Porter, right? And Hurt just started his business. I was going through a business plan.
Right,
with him,
yeah,
right? And he already started his business, but he had never done a business plan, and he really didn't know his, target audience, what he was going to do, how he was going to do it. So I took him through that. So it's never too early, right? But when is it most beneficial to my client, right? And so that I think, let me adjust the question a little bit so I can answer you more effectively. I really think that if you have enough data, and I would say probably 24 to 36 months of operational data, I can do really good analytics on that data and tell you where your opportunities are. And I have had probably the lowest amount of increase that I've had was probably about 20%. So meaning that every client that I've done this for has grown 20% or more in that year with me, right? Because after 24 to 36 months, you can decide what is important in the numbers, what are you going to measure, what really drives your revenue, what really drives your profit, and by not only drives, but where is it located? What is your customer base? Where do your customers come from? What industry, what region, what demographic, whatever it is. And so knowing that, and that was one of the things that we talked about with Hurt the very first time we were there, and that's what exactly we were going over. It was like, where do you think you're going to get your clients? And he had only had one session, and he said, well, they all came from this demographic. And I said, well, then that's your group right now.
That's your group right now.
It's early, but I think he's probably right. And it was real early. But I think after 24 to 36 months, if we go back, and I'm going to definitely do this with her again before 24, 36 months, but I bet if you guys talk to me 2 years from now, if we're still doing the same thing, we will have a really good picture of exactly who his audience is, exactly how to reach those people, exactly what we're doing with them. Yeah. And we'll be able to grow by expanding footprint either regionally or expanding footprint online or however he wants to do it.
What's really funny is I got two prospects that I'm talking to now. They've both been in the oil and gas industry. And a majority of their business for the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years have come from the oil and gas industry. And they're afraid right now with what's going on. They're looking to pivot somewhat. What do you tell somebody like that?
Well, if they're afraid that the oil and gas industry is going to go away, they need to chill first of all. That's first. Everybody should calm down.
Calm down.
A lot of plastic, a lot of petrochemicals, and let me tell you, windmills still require oil to run, and solar panels still have to be cleaned. And when it's all said and done, 30 years from now, we're going to have a whole bunch of solar panels that need to be recycled and burnt and thrown away and redone, rebuilt, remanufactured. So, hey, it's never going to end. If we're living on the earth, we're leaving a footprint of some kind. So oil and gas is always going to be around. Right, so how do you pivot, right? So the way that I would answer that question is I would say, okay, who are your top 80-20 customers, right? So go to your top 20 customers and say to them, okay, I've been serving you for the past X amount of time. Who are your other suppliers? How are you pivoting your business? How can I better serve you? what do some of my competitors do that I'm not doing? What do my competitors do better? Why do you use this guy for this service if I also offer this service? What are they doing better than, how can I make it better? How can I win that business from you? So just, it's usually not a whole lot of customers in terms of quantity, right? Your 80-20, most of your revenue comes from
20% of your customers.
20, which is normally like 5 or 10 customers.
Yep.
It's not that many customers.
Right.
You pick up the phone, call your 5 or 10 customers, and have a little voice of customer interview with them. 5 minutes. What's important to you? How can I do it more? And you pivot your business that way. And guess what? You keep your same customers, which are 80% of your revenue. So you're good. And you're slowly pivoting, right? You don't want to do a 180. Right? I mean, you would do an exit, which we love exits.
Right.
Sell your business, go do something else. Okay, that's a different story. But if you just want to pivot your current business you're in, talk to your customers. What do they need? What do they want? Right? I mean, I do things that are not necessarily outsourced CFO work. Why? Because my customer wanted it, and I'm his provider. So whatever he wants, like, hey, you want me to do that?
You already got the relationship.
Yeah,
you've already got the relationship.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, your customers don't even know that you do that.
Yeah.
No. It's funny when I joined a major environmental consulting firm. I mean, multinational environmental consulting firm, and my job at the time was providing QA QC environmental services for major pipeline projects, and I took over for this guy that I knew, and I saw a project that was going on in California that our California office was doing it. And I called up the guy that was in charge of it and said, hey, there's going to be inspection work on that. And my estimation is going to be about $7 million a year. How do we make sure that we get it? And the guy just went, I go, what do you mean? He goes, oh, well, we just helped the client go hire somebody else because we didn't know internally that we did it.
Oh, wow. Silos. Not talking to each other. Silos. Yeah, the CFO should have known that.
But I mean, what's so refreshing about talking to you is I've worked with a lot of CFOs in my past. I mean, I used to work with a lot of franchise organizations. And so many CFOs can't think differently. I mean, you're thinking about the future and what is the biggest revenue generator in our business, and it's our clients. And you know that. And I mean, that's what CFOs need to focus on moving forward. We're in 2021, for God's sake. Come on. Like, you get it, but so many don't right now.
Yeah. Because they're looking back. They're not looking forward. Right? They're controllers. They have the CFO title. And that's why I say, look, hey, CFOs around Houston, I don't want your job. Why? Because I value my freedom. That's why I'm here with Mike, and we can go and smoke cigars when I invite him, and it's cool. I don't want your job, but I do want to help you get better at your job. Right? I want to be a CFO advisor, and it would be having these conversations. Like, look, I know you don't look at this stuff, but you know what? This stuff is important, and it's important to your president. It's important to your CEO. It's important to your general managers. So let's look at it. And let me show you how to look at it. Right? 80-20. Let's see what's moving this. And start to make some decisions.
Well, it's one of the things that I see. I preach the 80-20 law all the time, and my it's so funny when I'm talking to business owners. Like, who's your customer? What do you do? Well, we service this, that, and I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. How do we figure that out, Mike? Well, go write down your last 100 customers or 20 customers, and tell me what you have in common with them. And I was like, holy crap, this is what we really do. Yeah. They never look at it. They want to service a way broader area than they should. And go from there. So when you started your company, what was one of the biggest struggles you had leaving? I'm with a team, I'm with corporate, now I'm on my own. What was one of the bigger struggles?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, because there were several, right? They were different struggles, right? And I still have struggles, right? But it's fun, so I don't look at them like, oh man, I got to wake up today and deal with struggles. I'm like, man, what's life going to throw at me today? It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great day. I mean, and you're happy before the day starts, and then you have a happy day, so you don't have to wait for the day to happen to get happy, or wait for the day to happen to be sad. Then you're going to be sad because probably something's going to be a struggle if you wait for it. But to answer your question, because I'm getting metaphysical on you,
those are the descriptions we have when we have the whiskey.
That's right. So the biggest struggle was identifying what type of client I should go after, right? Because I got into the doors of Exxon. I got into the doors of Chevron. I interviewed with the merger and acquisition guys at Baker Hughes, and I didn't know, right, that those guys didn't really need me. They've got 10 Andrew DeLunas at Baker Hughes. Right. They don't need me. Right. They got me over. They got my skill set. Now, they don't have my great sense of humor and energy, but I'm not selling that today. Maybe if I pivot my business, I can sell that later. But yeah, so I had to know mid-market's where I belong because the mid-market has the most opportunity for me to add value because they're not doing the type of analysis. Now, could I probably go to the CFO at Exxon and tell him, hey, do you know this? Yeah, I could. He's going to say, I got 10 people to handle that. The CFO doesn't do a CFO job at Exxon. Right. So he's got that title, but he's dealing with banks, investors, maybe auditors. Right. He's dealing with the board of directors. Right. It's a different job at that level, and so I had to kind of get my head around that. Right. Like I don't want to go after those big guys. I want to go after mid-market guys.
So what do you consider mid-market?
So between 5 million in revenue up to 1 billion in revenue. So my largest customer.
That's a pretty wide market.
It is. But my largest customer is 330 million a year. That's what they did in 2021. So I don't have any that are big that have ever been bigger than 500 million. But that is mid-market, right? To me. But I would say that the average 80-20. Yeah. They're between 20 and 40 million.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we got about 2 minutes before we go to break. If you can give one piece of advice for a business owner right now, so I'm going to pin Andrew down and say, man, there's 30 seconds. Give me one thing as a CFO. What do I got to focus on? What should I focus on?
Looking to the future, forecasting what your needs are going to be from a cash flow perspective and a human resource perspective. If you know those two things, how many people do I need? What people do I need? And how much money do I need to hire those people? Then you are on the right track to accumulating the resources that you need to grow your company.
I don't know what else we can finish with that. So we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the fun part of owning a business after this, because I know you guys got back from Cancun and you're traveling, you're doing a lot of great things, and we didn't get into business just to work. Yeah, we got in business to have fun. So this is Michael Raggi, your business guide. We got Andrew DeLuna, Andy Erskine, and we're going to be back in just a minute.
Did you know that children and adults are spending 90% of their time indoors? Whether at home or at the office, structures are now built tighter and more energy efficient, creating toxic environments.
Indoor pollution is 2 to 5 times worse than outdoors. Childhood asthma has increased 600% in the last 30 years. According to the EPA, there are over 750,000 new asthma cases every year in the United States.
Poor air quality can cause headaches, snoring, fatigue, sneezing, coughing, severe allergies, and much more. Additionally, chemical pollution from cleaning products such as bleach or Lysol and also treated building materials can severely affect your health.
Tactico is an indoor air quality company that focuses on health and wellness by using revolutionary technology to clear the air of toxic indoor pollution.
Our cutting-edge, green-certified solutions remove all odors, allergens, viruses, mold, toxic chemicals, and insects to create healthy homes and workplaces. Within minutes, our military-grade products kill 99.9999% of all toxins. Our team is highly experienced and is comprised of military veterans whose mission is to provide excellent customer service to our clients. Because your safety and your health are important to us. Call Tactico today, 832-901-9979, and let us create a healthy environment so that you and your family can live pollution-free.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Do you want to experience the ease and convenience of the latest and most advanced home security system? Are you going away on vacation and want to have peace of mind while you're not at your home or at your office? According to the FBI, a robbery occurs every 13 seconds, and homes and businesses without a security system are 300% more likely to be burglarized. Hawk Security provides security solutions to residential and small businesses in the state of Texas and from California to Georgia, building a custom-tailored security setup that matches your needs. Whether it is home security, fire and carbon monoxide detection, flood detection, connected senior care, managed video surveillance solutions, alarm monitoring, and life safety. In addition to fire and carbon monoxide detection, Hawk Security has a smart home and business integration, expanding security services to a lifestyle solution, keeping customers connected to their home and businesses from anywhere in the world, from their tablet or mobile device, so you can have peace of mind even if you're not at home or in your office. Reduce your energy cost, scheduling automatic changes in thermostats or lighting. And because we rely on our heroes every single day, Hawk Security offers security services discounts to military personnel, veterans, first responders, educators, and hospital personnel. Our mission is to keep our clients safe, treat them like family, and provide them with a user-friendly security system with personalized customer service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For integrity, honesty, passion, and excellent customer service, take a strong step today toward getting protected and call Rosanna Torres at 832-863-8574, because every home and business is unique and every security system should be unique too.
Hey, this is your business guide, Michael Razier. We're back with Andrew DeLuna, Andy Erskine. Man, I'm telling you, you guys got to watch this on the backside. We got a little bit more conversations, and we're live on Andy's phone today.
A little AA meeting today, you know?
It is, a little AA. We had beers during the session, you got to hide them, that now we're on TV. So, Andy, you were asking a really good question about young CFOs. What was that?
So if you are, for the young CFOs that are out here right now, and even the people that aren't CFOs, what are the two most important metrics that they should be looking at, looking towards the future for their business?
Yeah. So I answered at halfway through the break, but I answered one, to look at your customers' growth, right? So if you are growing slower than your clients, then your clients are going to outgrow you. So you need to see what industry your clients are in, how much that industry is growing, how much your customers are growing within that industry. And it's a difficult conversation to have with your customers. Like I was saying, how do you call your customer and say, hey, how much money did you make last year? So you got to figure out what the question that you really want to ask is. Mm-hmm. How much did you grow last year as a percentage? Mm-hmm. That's one way to do it.
Right.
How many units did you sell last year?
Mm-hmm.
How many employees did you have? So you can kind of keep track. And again, 5 or 10 customers, your biggest ones, keep track of how much they're growing. And ask the questions. How can I better serve you? How much do you expect to grow this year? Do you think you're going to need any more services from me to handle that growth?
Mm-hmm.
Things
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like, do I need to hire another accountant because you're going to buy another company and it's not going to be the same accounting system? So we need to integrate it, or we need to have Excel reports that are then imported into your main system, at least for a transition period, right? Nothing happens overnight.
Right.
So that's why it's fractional.
Right.
That's why it's interim, because we just solve the problem, we stop the bleeding, and then we move on. So secondly, two important things that a young CFO should think about, or any person should think about, right? First one being customer growth. I would say that the next one is a little bit trickier. You want to know how much dollars it takes to make a dollar at your company. So, right, how much money does it take to make a dollar, right? So how many phone calls do I need to make to get one client? And how long do those conversations take? I mean, because I can tell you, I have an import-export company under Moon Group Limited, and I buy equipment from India and China and sell it to South America.
Right.
Okay. Those meetings, I've spent probably 500 hours and probably close to $50,000 traveling before I made one sell. Right?
Yeah. I remember you were going to China all the time. Yeah.
A long time for people to trust you and for you to get certified. And I'm a certified provider to Petrobras. I'm on their website, and I went through an audit to get that. Financial and a legal audit. And I had to get, in good standing records from the Texas Comptroller, from the IRS, and all that's difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes time. So it took me a lot of money to get $1.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. So if I would have known that at the beginning, I'd be like, oh, it's not worth it. But now it's flowing.
The
So
dollars.
now,
The dollars.
So now it's like, wow, man, this is great. This
You
is
turned on the tap now.
Yeah. But man, pulling that faucet open. Oh
Yeah,
my
you
God.
gotta drill the well before you before you get any oil, man.
Exactly.
So
yeah, but understand how much money you have to spend to make, and sometimes you don't have to spend any money, right? Sometimes it's just time. And if you're a metaphysical guy, you can say, no, I'm just going to manifest it. I'm just going to think about it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And maybe it does. But we were talking about earlier, like, you got to go get the customers. You got to call them. They're not always going to call you.
There's action required to make that.
Any of Mike's clients listening to this, do not try to just manifest it, please.
My clients too. Do not try to manifest. Give me a call. I'm going to help you out. Yeah, but that's important, right?
All right.
Dude, how much money does it take?
So you're in business. You started business. You did it. Why?
Yeah.
Why? What freedom does it give you?
Yeah, man, I get to hang out with people I like. I get to choose my clients. All my clients are awesome, and I'm not just saying that because they may see this video or not, but I love my clients. I love the people that they are.
Yeah.
I love what they do in their community. I love the way they treat their customers. Like, I have the best clients, and I get gifts, and I go and I take them gifts, and I go to lunch, and we have conversations, and it's not always about business. It's like family, and how's your last fishing trip, and how's your last hunting trip, and how are your horses, whatever it is that they do, right?
Yeah.
And I love that. And some of my most gratifying moments with my clients have not been like, wow, look how much we grew last year. Although those are great.
Right.
I'm kind of used to them. I
Right.
mean, not being arrogant, but I'm like, of course, I'm here. It's
You have me.
of course it's growing. Come on. I'm here. Yeah, but it's to say something like, man, my client will say something like, man, I really want to buy this boat. And I'll be like, well, we'll see. Let's look at the cash. Well, you got money. Why wouldn't you get it? Well, I don't want to spend that much money. Well, why not? Well, I don't want to. Well, but you should reward yourself. You deserve a good life.
Yeah.
You deserve to be happy.
Right.
I am not like a person that believes at all that we were born to suffer.
Right.
I do not want to be the biggest sufferer.
No.
I don't want that award.
Yeah.
I want to be like, man, Andrew never suffers. He's always happy. That's the award I want. So in telling my clients that, being able to tell my clients that, right? Like when I was in corporate America, my executive vice president would have thrown something at me if I went to his office and been like, hey, man, what are you doing this weekend? He said, dude, I got shit to do. Get out of my office.
Right. Yeah.
Right? I mean, there are good relationships in corporate America. Don't get me wrong, but it was not friendly because you had to keep it professional because
Right.
because it is a culture, and it has been for many, many years of not making the lines between work and friendship gray.
Yeah.
Not crossing over too much
Yeah.
because then relationships, inter-office relationships start, and it makes it uncomfortable, and then you have the legal ramifications of different hostile work environments, et cetera, et cetera. But as a consultant, I'm like, I can harass my clients if I want to. And more importantly, my clients can harass me
back.
But yeah, and it's just, Houston is just a great city. The people are great. Everybody that I work with, it's just so much fun. So that's the freedom, man, is the freedom to be me.
Well, I know it's the BU is awesome because I watch you on your Facebook page and like he's in Vegas and he's here. He's like DeLuna's everywhere. So you know it's kind of things. You know, for relaxation. I know when we met, it was smoking cigars. We do that.
Still do that.
We do that a few times a year. We get together and do it. But what else? I know. I mean, you're a big MMA guy. You like to train. You like to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, what are those passions outside of the office, man?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I'm either working or working out. Right?
Okay.
I work out quite a bit, and I have a terrible diet, which is why I'm not super fit. But I'm fit, and I have great stamina in the gym, so it's good. But yeah, so I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at Midtown MMA. I teach Daitoryu Jiu-Jitsu, which is an art that I studied in Japan. I lived in Japan for 3 years. I teach Onoha Itoryu, which is a Kenjutsu sword style. I practice Muso Shinrin-ryu with Craig Hawker of Texas Iaido. And then I practice Salat with James Smith, which is knife fighting, Indonesian knife fighting, Malaysian knife fighting. So I have a lot of opportunities to train because I belong to a lot of schools, and so that's my passion, man. I love weapons. I always have a weapon on me for slicing the balance sheet.
Like that. That was good.
Slicing the balance sheet. Oh, I love it.
Cut expenses.
So you'd be like